know, that's why during that time you had like Maya, you know, J-Lo, a lot of people was like Shakira, a lot of people was at full strength, you know, Ephraimites. And, you know, they was trying to, you know, do that. You remember J-Lo was beating her husband up on the movie Enough. Remember she trained, got MMA training and beat him on, I think she beat him to death, didn't she? You know? That's the stuff they do. Remember during that time too, remember it was a lot of movies where the husband was very abusive. You know? Remember a lot of movies, what was it, that family reunion by Medea with Medea, whatever, and the guy on there beating his wife up, you know, they have a lot of movies. You don't really see that today, you know, but if you do, it's not like prevalent. But like remember back in like the 2010s, the 2000s, you know, a lot of movies, husbands was beating their wives, you know, and I remember they was doing that, beating their wives almost to death, and the wife, I gotta get away from my husband, he's too abusive, you know. A lot of things going on. The husband just causing chaos within the household. That's how they want the Messiah to look, because you know the law flows from Zion. So they try to say, yeah, you know, he's abusive. You know, you can just be free, live your life, do what you want to do. So they got to use it in a sense of abuse. You know what I mean? Because you can't do what you want to do in a way. Like you can't do it thou wilt. You know, that's what they're trying to use, any kind of tactic they could. You know, even that Dante's Inferno, you know, that was for the Super Bowl commercial back in 2010. And obviously 2010, who was in the Super Bowl? You know, the Saints and the Colts. So, you know, the Colts just goes to the white horse. Remember, it's written Christ will mount up with the white horse, with his saints. So you see they had the Saints and the Colts, so the Colts and the Saints, and they got the Dante's Inferno, you know, dealing with freeing the soul of Mary Magdalene. You see Jennifer Hudson, the spotlight was serious too. Remember how they had that blasphemy? Remember I showed you on the videos before how she hanged the phone up on Carlos to my man, I can't do what I want to do. I can't live my life. He always under me. Let me live. I don't want to be in his spotlight. Instead of that, you know, it says that the altars foreshadow the kingdom to come. Instead of that, she'd rather be in the light casting the shadow on Christ, you know. I don't want to be in your light. You the light of the world. I don't want to be in that spotlight. I want to have my own. I'm going to cast a shadow on you instead, you know. I'm my own God. Get out my way. Around that time too, you see I usher the Hebrew complexion, and then you have the Judahite complexion. I mean, then you have Alicia Keys, like the fair skin complexion, and they singing the My Boo and all of that. Remember that song? You know, it was like that merging together of Judah and Ephraim. But you know, I mean, obviously Alicia Keys, you know, but I'm just saying like the complexion type of ordeal, you know. But it's all just all symbolic. You remember during that time too, they had that Tyrese singing that Sweet Lady, won't you be my, remember what he said when he ain't calling or whatever, when he ain't there, call me or something like that, I'll be there whenever you need me. Sweet Lady. Trying to seduce the wife. Remember we had that Genuine that's so anxious, man, that's so anxious, you know, and all of that, you know. Just call me and I'll be there, you know. Them devils are insane, man, but you know, at the end of the day, everything got to play its role, you know. You know, they doing their job, but at the end of the day, the saints, we doing our job too, and we fighting back. You know, the kingdom will be restored. The holy kingdom of Judah will be restored. The house of the Lord will be restored. The Exodus will fulfill. And the law gonna flow from Zion. You know, I just want to really just cover this. I'll get deeper into this topic later on, like with more in-depth information. But, you know, this is a very important thing to understand, man. Like that devil, you know, they really like to contort truth and contort knowledge so people can't know what's really going on, you know. And that's how they try to deceive people, because they don't want people knowing the true salvation. The Messiah return.